Hey, hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is day 5 where we will be taking our first step towards starting the business. When somebody decided to start a business in India, the biggest challenge and the biggest question that they are going to have is what type of company should I register in India? In order to demystify it, I will try to keep this as non-technical as possible. If someone wants to start a business in India, there are only 5 types of companies someone can start from India. We will see about it one by one. Before getting into it, any business that gets started in India has 2 important compliances. One, whenever you start a business, you have to register it with the government and you have to spend some money for that. And the second is going to be the annual compliance, which is nothing but every year you have to file some documents and your financial detail to the government. Based on this, the type of company is going to differ and the cost that you incur is also going to differ. The first type of business is a solopreneur. The biggest advantage of starting as a solopreneur is it is really easy to start. It has very less compliance and the cost is going to be less. And the single person will have complete control of the business. And the biggest disadvantage of starting a solopreneur is it has unlimited liability. When I say unlimited liability, we will take that with an example. Let's assume somebody sues your company and they won the case. So generally what happens when somebody sues a company, the company is responsible for paying the amount whatever they have won, right? But in terms of solopreneur, if the business doesn't have enough money, even your assets, whatever you own under your name, will be attached to it. That's the reason it has an unlimited liability, which is really challenging and risky for someone who wants to start a business. And it is not a separate entity. Whatever the revenue that you get is going to be accounted under your income. Because of that, in the future, if you want to raise funds, it is going to be challenging. The second type of company is going to be partnership. It is same like a solopreneur. The only difference is that it is going to be one person. Here it is going to be 2%. The third type of company somebody can start is LLP, Limited Liability Partnership. When you register a company as an LLP, the company is considered as a separate entity. When you say separate entity, the company has its own PAN, it has its own accounting, and it has its own assets and liability. The owners or the director of the business is still responsible for the functioning of the business, but whenever something happens to the business, the owner's assets are not attached. This is the biggest relief for people so that they can do business freely. The only difference that I see from an LLP and the private limited, which we will be seeing later, is LLP has a very less compliance. When I say very less compliance, any company, while filing their taxes, they have to get their books audited thoroughly by a chartered accountant. Whereas in terms of LLP, you need not to appoint your auditor. So in order for you to appoint an auditor, it is going to cost you, right? So in LLP, the annual compliance is going to be a bit cheaper when you compare to a private limited company. But finding very serious investor or very big investor is going to be challenging because generally investors prefer investing in a private limited company rather than an LLP. The fourth type of company that I want to talk about is a one-person company. It is nearly equal to LLP and private limited. The only difference is LLP or private limited, it needs at least 2 people to be the board of directors. If you are someone who wants to start a company which is nearly equal to a private limited company, but you do not have a founder or you do not have someone to start with, then you can start an one-person company. The only challenge is going to be an one-person company cannot have more than 20 crore of revenue. And the last type of company that I'm going to talk about is a private limited company. It's a very perfect type of company who is very serious about doing business. It is going to have all the advantages of a one-person company and an LLP. The only difference is the private limited company has to appoint an auditor and all their books has to be manually verified by the chartered accountant. So in order for you to do your annual filing, it is going to cost a bit more when compared to LLP. So this is a primary difference between different types of companies. You can choose whatever you prefer. I will give you guys a very small tips. If you're someone who's just trying out new business, or if you do not want to expand it to a very bigger business, you want to do it very small, then you can start either as a solopreneur or a partnership. If you are very serious about doing business and you have an ambition to grow into a bigger organization, then I would recommend you to go with private limited. In order for you to start a private limited company in India, you need some of the documents. First of all, you need at least 2 founders who are called the directors of the company. And for the directors, you need to submit PAN card, Aadhaar card, bank statement, and a passport size photo. And the second thing that you need will be in the company address. With all these details, you would be able to register a private limited company. In India, generally consultants charge from 15,000 to 25,000 to register a business. After this activity, you generally get 3 things. 1, the digital signatures of the directors, and the second is going to be the company's registration certificate along with the PAN card. Since our ambition is to grow this business into a 1 CR revenue business, my preference is going to be a private limited company. Thanks once again for being here in my day 5. See you all tomorrow in day 6. Thanks once again. Have a wonderful day.